Hello, Braves country. It's Coach Ken Anderson coming to you for Hardcore Braves, and I got my man Andrew Davison on here. How you doing tonight, Andrew?
I'm doing all right. It's just another night. To wish the Braves had finished out San Francisco on a strong hold, but it's a long season, everybody. Like I said on the last episode, and we're in a new month in one more day.
Yep, yep. We're
The
gonna
Braves
start.
need July in a bad way, and I
Uh,
think
we need to get
hopefully
out of June. Because June's been horrible for the Braves.
it has
They're,
been.
they're 4-12 their last 16. It's so bad. Ben Weaver posted they're 4-13. I was going to correct him. I said no, it feels like they're 4-20. So, but they're 4-12 in their last 16. They were 5-1 before that in the month. So they are 9-13 in the month of June. That's a pretty bad month. And they had a 10.5 game lead. It's now down to three. So they've lost 7.5 games overall. We have our little group thing. We joke around about we let's just throw the panic button out. I I'm very concerned, but I'm not real into panic yet. How about you, Andrew?
I'm almost there. I'm almost there just because of how rough the month of June was for every part of the team except the bullpen. And the bullpen wasn't as good as it's been, but it was still pretty good.
Better. It was better.
It, and it was better.
Yeah, our ERA in the month of June is 2.89. Can you believe that? The one thing
That
that's
that
been
really
good is
plays.
yeah, it really played. Overall, the 3.12, they're number one in baseball. And we were number one in baseball in bullpen, second in starters ERA. We were number one with runners in scoring position, and we were number one on base percentage going into June. As we finish June, the Braves are now 14th in OPS after being first, and they're now eighth with runners in scoring position, and they were first by a lot. So they have really the hitting is really tailed off. Starters ERA, they were second, and in the month of June they've dropped all the way to 12th in baseball. That's how bad of a month they've had. And that's with some really good Chris Sale starts. He pitched pretty well this month. Even today, Sunday's game, he gave up one earned. We're filming this on Sunday night. We know the series don't start Tuesday, but we have schedules. Um, the starters EA when it started this month was 3.16 for the year. It's now at 3.41. To gain a half of run ERA in a month is tells you how bad it is. So the question is not that we played bad. I don't think we could play any worse, Andrew, than we played in the month of June, especially the last 16 games.
No, and that's kind of where I'm not. That's why I'm not hitting the panic button just yet, because it's 162 games. You just mentioned what, 9-12 is the record, correct?
Yeah.
That's
Well, 9-13.
21. That's
9-13.
9-13. That's 22 games of 162. You take the other 140 games that we're going to have the rest of the year, there will probably be another losing streak of three in a row. There's going to have another bad week and a half, but it will not be as bad as what we're going through right now. The month of June was rough. We had some injuries. We've had some horrible struggles from some really key players. Some injuries to the pitching staff. We're really relying on two starters right now who we can go out and give us 6 innings every time out. Um, we lost our, I thought, most important bullpen piece in Robert Suarez at the end of the month. All hell went loose in the month of June, and July is here, and it's go time. We're over the half of the year mark of the season, and it's go time. It's time to get back going.
Yeah. So, and the thing is, as we talked about before we got on here, if the roles were reversed, I'd be happy as a lark right now, running down the Phillies and only being 3 games back. So the Phillies are excited, but they have a pretty little tough stretch here before the All Star break. maybe we can take advantage and at least increase that lead up to maybe 5 games or so when we go to the All-Star break. And that starts with the St. Louis Cardinals coming to town, Andrew. That means there's going to be big crowds because the Cardinals fans travel. There are a lot of people in this area that are Cardinal fans anyhow, because of the radio, and they were brought up as Cardinal fans. But we know the Braves are 3-0. So how are the Cardinals? The Cardinals are 43-38, 7 games behind the Brewers. We talked on here before. The Brewers and the Dodgers are probably fixing to just run away with their divisions unless they get some injuries. So they're looking at the wild card. Right now, St. Louis would be the final wild card, Andrew. And you know that the season end of the day, this would be your playoff matchup in round one of the wild card, Braves and Cardinals. Were you aware the Cardinals were having a pretty good year this year?
I did because it's made some pretty big headlines on national TV because they were picked to be arguably one of the 3 worst teams in baseball this year with the Rockies and I don't know, maybe let's just throw out the White Sox for whatever.
With the White Sox, yeah.
Um, they've been a great surprise. They have a really good young core of guys. Jordan Walker's playing like the first round pick he was. JJ Weatherholt's playing like a rookie of the year candidate. Ivan Herrera, their DH, is playing really good. They've got some really good speed out in the outfield, and Lars Nootbaar is back. It's been maybe 3 weeks since he's been back, and he's been providing really well. But the biggest spark for me with the Cardinals this year has been their starting pitching's pretty good. Their pitching has been really good.
Yeah, their starting pitching has been the surprise this year. They've kept him in games, and one of them will get Thursday night. His ERA don't be fooled. He had a couple of bad outings, but we'll get to him. Overall, though, he's pitched very well for them. The other thing going on with them is getting Lars Nootbaar. He is their Ozzy Albies. The whole clubhouse goes around Lars. He's a great clubhouse leader. They got off to a good stretch, and about when they started kind of losing, Lars come back, and they have just righting the ship again. He's such a great leader. Anybody that follows baseball knows how good of a player Lars Nootbaar is, and just he's good for the game. I'm glad he ended up being healthy because he had a little scary injury there. So let's get to the pitching matchups. Tuesday night, Martin Perez, 6-4-3 against Matthew Liberatore. Now, he was a high pick. He hasn't really panned out. He's the one starting pitcher who has struggled for them this year. 3-5 with a 5.56. Now, here's the thing. He throws a lot of junk, and our hitters right now are pulling off of that. So this is going to be a string test Tuesday night. What do you think of the first pitching matchup as we open up the homestand?
Uh, Two savvy lefties going out there that throw a lot of junk. We've hit Liberatore pretty good in the past. We've also played really well against the Cardinals of past, especially at home. This is a series and a game that we've got to come out refreshed, ready to go, excited, pumped up, use the crowd to our advantage, and jump on him early because the way that Liberatore usually is, he starts off good. He pitches really well. He gives up a couple early. Might be a long night for the Cardinals bullpen. So it's really important Tuesday night that we get out and put up a little bit of a crooked number in the first 3 innings, get his pitch count high, get some guys in, and then we ride the ship to win Tuesday night.
Yeah. Bullpen is as good as their starter's been. Their bullpen hasn't. They have a 4.26 ERA and 19th in baseball. It's not terrible, but it's not their absolute strength. We'll jump on the hip coil and tell you who they have 2 really good relievers, as most teams do in the MLB. The other thing that goes on with Liberatore is he is a funky, kind of a little bit funky where he releases his pitch. If it's off, he can be wild. And one of the things that aggravated me at the end of the Giants game was we kind of bailed them out. We had 4 big at bats in that, and we swung at pitches a foot off the plate or down in the dirt. We can't do that against Liberatore, Andrew. We've got to be able to take those pitches and earn those walks. I know that's one of the things that our group chat we got into one day is you're right. We have got to walk more. We've got to look on 3-2 pitches in the dirt. No offense to Yaz, great guy. He cannot swing at that pitch. Pass the baton. Is that the same way you're still thinking as we go into this Cardinal series?
Absolutely. We struck out too much in key situations today. Um, or we're just popping up on the first freaking pitch. And um, that's what's really been killing us in this during this stretch is we're not hitting with runners in scoring position, which has been the overall killer. But we're not walking, which is what we did. We're not making these guys work and throwing us hittable pitches. What we did for the first 2 months, and we were lethal. I mean, not even the Dodgers could stop us doing that. Nobody could. We got to get back to doing that. And if we can, and when we do it, because it's going to happen again when we get right, everything's going to start calming down. The Phillies won't be back down our necks as much. They're on an insane hot streak. We're on just an insane cold streak. It's going to come back to life. And July is the month that I'm hoping that it's coming back.
Yeah, it needs to start Tuesday night because again, we cannot. Don Sutton used to always say, "Remember who's in trouble here." And in certain situations, the pitcher's who's in trouble, and you can't help him out by swinging at pitches. And it was across the board today, so hopefully we'll fix that because Matthew can get off with his control, and if you can walk some guys and they have a big hit with bases, and like you said, get into this bullpen and have them throw because Tuesday night they may not have to use their bullpen a little bit. They're going to throw Michael McGreevy. Now they don't score no runs. As we don't score for Chris Sale, they don't score for McGreevy. He's been really good for them. 3-6, 3.12. He's going to face Ronaldo. And we talked before we got on here. Ronaldo's probably going to be bumped up to about 70 pitches. If he's productive and throws strikes, he may give us 5 innings. What do you think about Wednesday's pitching matchup?
It's a good matchup. It's an underrated matchup, in my opinion. It's another really big start for Ronaldo. I thought he pitched pretty well.
I did too.
His first inning was shaky, but it's the first inning. He gave up one bad pitch to Devers, and he put a good swing on it. It wasn't a terrible pitch, wasn't a great pitch. It was just also a really good swing by a guy who owns Lopez. But this is a really big start for Lopez. We need him to get into 5 innings. I know the bullpen's got a day off on Monday, but still we need a bullpen ready to go and rested heading into also leading into Thursday night's game and then the big series at home against the Mets. But McGreevy's going to be a tough guy. He throws the ball really well. He's going to come at you with the fastball, but also use his off speed to get us off our game. And then right now, like you said, we're not seeing the off speed really well. We're going to need to hit the fastball early and adjust to the curveball and the slider whenever it comes. And hopefully we're able to do that.
Yeah, and we'll talk about it on the hip call, so make sure you turn it in. And Ryan will have a game plan. These all three of these pitchers should be able to hit if we have the right approach. That third pitcher on Thursday, and I told you don't be fooled by his ERA at 4.30. He had 2 starts that ballooned it up. Dustin May has made a full recovery finally. Now look, he got hurt twice in LA. They finally gave up on him. They traded him to Boston. He struggles. Now he's in St. Louis. And he just seems to be back to being healthy. Now, he's not that dominant guy everybody thought he was going to be when he first come up, but he's very good. And you say, well, who the Braves going to pitch? The Braves don't know. They got to figure out how long Lopez goes. Does Waldrop follow him? Does Holmes follow him? Does Lopez give him enough and neither of them follow him? We don't know. Elder is a little fatigued, is what they're saying after the game. Even he brought it up. So they may want both of them to pitch. J.R. Ritchie threw in Gwinnett today, so he's probably not going to throw Thursday. So we don't know who's going to throw from Atlanta. So we're not going to talk about the pitching matchup. It's more, have you paid attention that Dustin May finally looks like he could be healthy and maybe have a decent major league career?
He is looking as healthy as he has ever been. He's throwing the ball hard. He's spinning the curveball really good. When he's on, he's nasty.
Yeah.
Nasty. We have some hitters in our lineup that have hit him well, but he wasn't 100% right then, that being Austin Riley with a 2 homer game against him in 2025. But he's nasty right now, and it will be a tough night for our hitters.
Yeah, so that's going to be so we're going to have to slow down their offense. Their offense has been steady. It's not been great. They're 16th in OPS. They're 24th with runners in scoring position. They sound like they have our problem a little bit. But with that said, they have five guys that can absolutely hit. And that's the thing. Weatherholt, the young kid, is really good. He's not going to win Rookie of the Year because other guys are having a little bit better year here, but he's 779. Herrera, he catches and DHs. He's really good. He's 807. Burleson is their sneaky veteran. He is their guy that nobody really talks about. And if you play any kind of fantasy sports, you put Burleson on every lineup because he somehow finds a way to get you points. 824. Nuke Bar is it's a small sample size, but he's a great hitter. 866. But the difference in this team is they had so high hopes for Jordan Walker, and finally Jordan has found his groove. And if you're a baseball fan, forget about being a Braves fan. We want him to struggle the next 3 games. I think it's nice to see the kid finding himself. And who knows, maybe he'll have some big hits against the Phillies and Dodgers and Brewers as the season goes on. Maybe not this week. But if you paid attention, that Jordan Walker has finally found himself and looks like to be a bona fide major league star.
Yeah, it's really good to see Jordan get going. I actually played against him in high school.
Yeah.
I sophomore year of high school when he was a senior, and he hit a home run off of us. We won the game. We won the game. But he had a home run at probably about 420 feet to left center. Um, it's really nice to finally start seeing him play well because he was a highly drafted pick, a lot of upside. It's good to see him playing well this year, but not for
Yeah.
the next 3 days.
After that, 3 days, take a week off, rest yourself, Jordan, and then we'll wish you the best the rest of the way. So, how do our pitchers need to attack the Cardinals' offense? Well, it's interesting. We actually have the right guys to do it if they're on, is they do struggle with the slider. And Martin throws a good slider, Reynaldo throws a good slider, and if it's Grant Holmes throws a good slider. Now we don't know if Waldrop's going to get in there, and that's not like his best pitch. But the use of the slider by our starting pitchers against this Cardinals offense can be huge. They just played a series with the Marlins, and they got Max Meyer, and they got Sandy, and all them who also have good sliders, and they shut the Cardinals offense down. Now, look, the Cardinals pitching pitched well against the Marlins. They didn't beat them in all those games, but they won the series. And if anybody's even noticed, they're now only like 5 or 6 back of us. They've played really well, but they beat them with a slider. Is that how you think we should approach and beat them with a slider as well?
Absolutely. Take whatever Max Meyer and Sandy Alcantara did to them and duplicate it. And I know Martin and Ronaldo don't throw as hard as Meyer and Sandy, but they can be more efficient than the both of them, in my opinion. Locating and mixing up speeds a lot better than both of those two Miami pitchers. And if both of our starters do that, they will be able to have a good, successful night against St. Louis.
And for Braves country who hate this to come out of here, hold your ears right now. I would almost hope Reynaldo goes 5 innings and we don't have to use Waldrop or Holmes, and I mean or Lopez, and then Holmes can pitch Thursday because I really would like his slider. I know y'all don't want him to start anymore. Some of y'all, well, put your ears back on. Yeah. But Holmes would be really tough in that situation. We'll see what happens. The Braves have no clue. The only thing they got a clue on is Martin's going to throw Tuesday, Reynaldo's going to start Wednesday, and Martin's going to throw Sunday or somewhere in that ballpark, and Sell's going to pitch this weekend. Other than that, all the other games are going to be up for discussion. So we'll see how it goes. As far as the bullpen, this is where the Braves will have a strength over most teams, but definitely glaring here. So we need to get leads. And in the bullpen, again, the guys who have really good sliders. Dieter was off today. His location was way off. And it was, hey, look, he can't be perfect, guys. He's going to have that. His slider plays. But Dylan Lee, against these lefties, We haven't made our pick, but I think we might have the same one. They're going to have a Fitz against Dylan Lee, and I wouldn't even mind in the situation here. Get your opinion real quick. If it gets to a certain thing, and it looks like those left-handed hitters, Nuke Bar and all them coming up in the ninth instead of the eighth, I wouldn't mind Dylan making a spot and closing the game in this series. How about you?
I have no problem with it. No problem at all with Dylan Lee closing. We know Rysell is such a team player to where if it's a righty lefty righty in the eighth inning, Rysell is such a good guy that he could go in the eighth inning and just go do it. It'll spark some controversy on online, but um, Dylan. It would not surprise me if Dylan makes a ninth inning appearance this series, or maybe we even save him. A game goes into extra innings, or Dylan's got to come in early. Maybe Grant or Martine or whoever's pitching out there, maybe mixed up in the sixth inning, and we really need a shutdown where they got two guys on and we're up one or two runs. This is something where you could see Walt roll the dice early and go Dylan Lee.
Yeah, and then from the right side, this could be a huge series for Tyler Kinley. He threw the ball okay today. He had one miss again. It worries me. Dubon made a great catch in left field. But if Tyler's on with his slider, he could be really good in this series as well, don't you think?
I agree completely. Tyler, outside of one bad pitch and then one mistake that's not really on him, he's been pretty good since come back. I think he just needed the rest, if we're being completely honest.
Yeah, and let's hope that's what Robert is going through with Suarez because he almost had identically the same pain in the same spot. So that's the reason why they're just saying they backdated it. So we'll see how he does. So with that said, Cardinals are a good team, and we need to win a series. We've lost 5 of the last 6 series. We got to start winning series again. Forget about doing whatever. But if that's the case, what starter to you is really under the microscope here and has to have a big start?
It's got to be Martine. He's got to set the tone early, and we got to win game one. I was very confident in my pick, and I was going to say something to you and Ryan about it. You guys went Giants or we'd go 1-3 in the Giant, or 1 of 3 in the Giants, and I had 2 of 3. I was confident after winning Friday, but Martine has got to go out and set the tone early on Tuesday night, and we really need a big start from him, and we really need a win, especially at home.
Yeah, sadly, me and Ryan was spot on. We said we'd win Friday night and lose the next 2, and that's kind of what happened. So I wish we were wrong on that. I will say I think Reynaldo's got the big start. I 100% agree with you. I think Martine's got to go win Tuesday. We need a win and plug the dam a little bit. But I think Reynaldo 70 pitches, I think is what he'll be up to. If he could somehow get back, and that really is now with Elder looking like he's fatigued a little bit, we need Reynaldo back in the starting rotation. And we all think he'd be a great bullpen piece, and he did pitch well in the bullpen. But I think Reynaldo is. I already said I'll let you pick if you want to pick him. I think Dylan Lee. This is a huge series for Dylan Lee. They've got the lefty batters they need to control, and look, he's good enough to get Walker out. Walker will swing over that slider when it's down at his foot, so I don't worry about him against Jordan either. Who is the guy of the pen? excuse me, that you think is the guy of this series?
Dylan Lee,
Dylan Lee. Yeah,
gonna, and then maybe even Dylan Dodd.
yeah, yeah.
If
It's
Dylan Lee's got to go Tuesday and Wednesday, it may be Dylan Dodd's turn to come get a big 2-3 outs later in the game on Thursday if needed. So I'm gonna go Lee, but 1B is Dodd.
Yeah, I think the lefties play big time. So with that said, what's your prediction on how the series goes?
I'm going to be confident again. We're going to take 2 or 3. We're going to get back on track. We're going to win our first series. First series in a couple series, and we're going to get back on track.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I've been really thinking about this and thinking about this. We get Liberatore so well. Um, I'm pretty sure we're going to win that game. I really do. And I just like the way Reynolds, and I love Reynolds being honest and saying he was just a little bit nervous taking them out in San Francisco because he knows the pressure. He wants to be a starting pitcher. Well, no matter what all of us want him to be, he wants to be a starting pitcher. So that's not Alex making it. I hear it all the time on X. He's not. Ronaldo wants to be a starting pitcher. He was a starting pitcher at one time in his career. That's what he likes to do. I think he's going to have a big start. So then my thing is are we good enough to win all three of them? And you know what? I told this, and I can't wait to get Ryan on the recap. I've tried every jersey I can this year, and I showed Andrew, but I got my Austin Riley jersey on. Can you see that? We're going to sweep them. We're going to sweep the Cardinals. It's going to quiet everybody down, including my buddy. You know who you are, MOB. It said we're a bad baseball team. We're going to go in here and sweep the Cardinals before the mid. This is going to be a great homestand for us, and we're going to right the ship. Pittsburgh's going to shove Phillies. You know what? In the dirt, and our lead's going to be 5 games by the time we leave the St. Louis. About 4.5 at least by the time we leave the St. Louis series. That's right. Coach is calling us sweep. You can call me nuts. I just got a
I'm
feeling.
not calling you nuts. And I'm not calling you nuts because we play the St. Louis Cardinals really well. We're back at home. It's America's 250 birthday week. We are the team of the red, white, and blue. It's time. It's go time. It's July. July is usually a good month for us. Let's go out and show the Braves are back. Just maybe had a little 20-game stumble, but it's time to come back.
I agree. And this is the thing, Braves fans. Be better than the Philly fans. Philly fans, when they were struggling 2 years ago, 2 years ago with Trey Turner, Alec Bump, they gave them standing ovations. We got to be like that. We have got to bring the energy this week. Cardinal series, smack them in the mouth, go get a win, then go smack the Mets in the mouth. Even if it ends up being 5-2 this week, have a winning homestand. And I guarantee everybody will feel right about themselves. I expect the Braves to bring the noise. I liked everything in the post-conference talk. Everything from Weiss to Chris Sale to Matt Olson to every interview they had. I think Olson and Sale, the two leaders on this team, are going to have a big time. Now, let me answer the discussion. They always say Matt picks his times in the clubhouse. I think this might be a time. And it won't be more than, let's go. Let's go. Drake, you swung the bat good today. Let's go, Drake. If Drake gets going, this offense is going to get really going. I'm telling you. And the fact of the matter is Eli White is going to play Tuesday night because of Liberatore. And he had good at-bats today.
Three of them.
And I think Joey Bart hit the ball on the snods 3 straight times tonight. 2 almost went out of the ballpark.
Two probably go out at May with the thick air in Atlanta or the thin air, probably go out in Atlanta. At least one of them does.
100%. This is not us trying to be positive. You should see our text. We tell you all the time. But Braves are fixing to turn it around. And this is the series to do it. And we never do well out west. If anybody's, we all want to be. That's the reason why I took 1 out of 3. We just not playing well to win out west. We'll get home. We'll do well. And Martin is the right guy to take the bump Tuesday. He'll settle everything down. No emotion. Perez shows no emotion. And I guarantee you that this is going to be it's going to be special. We're going to win. So I'm going to call for a sweep. So let's get out of here. You got any final thoughts as we close it out of here?
When do we hear anything on our superstar, Ronald Acuna? It's got to be coming. I'm really intrigued on it. I know we've talked off the air about it, about what you've heard, but we need to get some notes on our superstar. And I didn't really like Alex's comments during that interview during the game about somebody being, if someone gets out the rest of the year. That just made that gave Ken the idea of PTSD. That gave me the idea that Ronald, his hamstring's not as it's worse than it has been for observed. But hopefully we get some news on Ronald this week. We're praying for him because I know he's struggling with everything going on in his home country of Venezuela. But we need to get some notes on the baseball player Ronald Acuna Jr.
Yeah, I think it's just Alex has PTSD, and I don't blame him. And I don't think he meant it to be that way. You just don't ever know. And that guy could be actually be Sean might not be coming back. I mean, or maybe later than they thought it would. It's definitely we know this. Uh, Me, Bo, all of us put out. We thought after the trade deadline, and I know Bo put out a later video maybe now end of August, September. We're getting to the point now, Sean Murphy, so we need Joey Bart to go. And so what he's probably talking about is that also probably dictates who is the third catcher going to be, or do we need another this bad or whatever. So that's what he's talking about. And you never know when somebody might get nicked up here. So I understand that. I think he's got a little PTSD when he said season ending injury because he's had so many of those. A lot of good stuff's happening. AJ Smith-Shawver going to make his first rehab start in Augusta. That's a good sign. He's going right to Augusta Tuesday night. I think it's Tuesday night. So good luck to AJ. We hope to have him back. So we're going to get out of here on that. Y'all enjoy this week. Pack the stadium. Get the Braves going. Stay a lot of standing ovation, a lot of cheering. Don't be quiet in the stadium. Get them going. Show them that we're behind them. And we're going to walk out here with a winning series. We love you. Remember to follow Andrew at Andrew Davidson 10 and at Hot Atlanta Highlights on Instagram. You can follow us, all of us, at Hardcore Braves. We love you, Braves Country, and we're out of here. Peace.
You know what, boys? You guys are going to be world champions for the rest of your life.